You're watching KTEN Television. And now from the KTEN Digital Newsroom, it's time for KTEN News at 10.
Congratulations, Sully.
Congratulations indeed. Denison native and national hero Captain Chesley "Sully" Sullenberger hangs up his wings for good, retiring as a commercial pilot after 30 years of flying. Thank you for joining us. I'm Chris Severy. Lizanne Anderson is off tonight. More on Sully in a moment. First, breaking news tonight in Denison. Fire heavily damaging a house tonight in Denison happened at 74 Butterfield Lane just a couple of hours ago. That's east of downtown off of FM 120. Here's what we do know tonight. When firefighters got there, they found the single-story brick home with fire in the attic. So many firefighters from Denison working this one, they called for manpower from Sherman to be backup at the Central Fire Station downtown. Nobody was hurt. The cause is under investigation. Back now to our top story, and probably the most recognizable airline pilot in the world retired today. Captain Chesley "Sully" Sullenberger, the Denison native, at the controls of the passenger jet that landed in the Hudson River last year, says he's giving up commercial flying, but will continue the battle for safer skies. More now from Chris Clackham.
The pilot and his jet going through the water cannon retirement ritual in Charlotte Wednesday.
Congratulations, Sully.
Was famed pilot Chesley "Sully" Sullenberger, the one who landed another U.S. Airways passenger jet in New York's Hudson River last year, after both engines stalled from hitting a flock of geese and where all 155 people on board survived.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Some of them were on this, Sully's last flight for the airline, and among a grateful crowd that had gathered at the gate.
It was quite a shock to be on his last flight. I would hope he'd fly a little longer because we need people like him.
It was wonderful.
Oh, it was an honor. I mean, I felt real safe. I felt real safe on that plane.
It was great.
Here we are over a year later. So I'm glad to be part of it, public facing.
The hero of the Hudson is not going quietly into retirement, though. The 30-year veteran isn't happy with today's airline industry.
Are you leading the industry better than you found it?
I am not.
Sullenberger plans to devote more time to airline safety issues, like pilot fatigue.
We're working much harder, more hours per day, more flights per day, more days per week, more days per month.
It's a harsh critique from the industry's most famous face, but Sullenberger says it's for the passengers. Chris Clackham, NBC News.
To Sherman, Texas now, and police there making another big pot bust. This one happened late last night. Police pulled a car over on Highway 75 and FM 1417. A drug dog uncovered 10 pounds of marijuana. An officer also found a handgun inside. These two men, Glendale Roberson and William Allen Roberson, brothers from Fayetteville, Arkansas, were both arrested and charged with marijuana possession. William was also charged with gun possession. Both are in the Grayson County Jail. Last night was the second marijuana bust Sherman police have made in just the past week on Highway 75. And if you add the amount of drugs local law enforcement agencies on both sides of the Red River have confiscated off the highway in just the last 7 days, it would equal about 80 pounds of pot. But authorities say they aren't surprised by the large numbers of recent drug busts.
I think that if we had more people working interdiction, it would happen more often.
Local authorities believe Texoma is seeing the results of an increase in the pot trade in Mexico. Texas has reported more marijuana seizures in 2010 than in the past 4 years combined, and it's only March. A Gainesville woman will spend the next 10 years behind bars for dragging a man with her car and leaving the scene of an accident. This all happened in November of 2007 in Sherman. Crystal Taylor hit a parked car outside of a party on Lamberth and then took off. She came back later and hit another car. That's when she was surrounded by a group of people from the party. She took off again, but this time she dragged Danny Coates more than 1,000 feet, running him over. Coates suffered permanent injuries. Taylor had a long criminal history, including run-ins for forgery in Cook County and DWI in Whitesboro. Jurors took approximately an hour to give Taylor the maximum sentence available on that charge.